Hi friends, welcome back to Story Times to Go. Today we are going to be reading Joseph Had a Little Overcoat by Sims Tabak. Before we start our story, we are going to sing our hello song. It's going to be our regular hello song, Hello Friends. If you're new here, I will sing it once through and then I will explain the 4 American Sign Language signs that are in the song. And then I'll sing it a second time, and on the second time, try and join in. This is a song we sing every month, so I would love for you all to learn it with me. Okay, here is Hello Friends. Hello friends, hello friends, hello friends, it's time to say hello. Thank you to my friends who sang with me. Now, that has 4 American Sign Language signs in it. So there's hello, there's friends. So friends is like your fingers are friends and they're giving each other a hug. And then there's time, like you're tapping a watch. And I wore my watch for y'all today, so you could like sort of, I love a prop, get into the prop mode. Time. And then say is this J motion off of your chin. So it is hello, friends. It's time to say hello. All right, now that you've heard it one time and I have explained the American Sign Language signs, let's do it a second time. And for my new friends, just try to sing along with me. All right, here we go. Hello friends, hello friends, hello friends, it's time to say hello. Thank you so much for singing with me. And now, let's read our story. Joseph Had a Little Overcoat by Sims Tabak. Joseph had a little overcoat. It was old and worn. So he made a jacket out of it and went to the fair. Look at all the fun he's having at the fair. Joseph had a little jacket and it got old and worn. So he made a vest out of it and danced at his nephew's wedding. Joseph had a little vest and it got old and worn. So he made a scarf out of it and sang in the men's chorus. Joseph had a little scarf. It got old and worn. So he made a necktie out of it and went to visit his married sister in the city. Joseph had a little necktie and it got old and worn. So he made a handkerchief out of it and drank a glass of hot tea with lemon. Joseph had a little handkerchief, and it got old and worn. So he made a button out of it and used it to fasten his suspenders. I don't know if you can see the little button right there. Joseph had a little button. One day, he lost it. Now he had nothing. Poor Joseph. He doesn't have anything. So Joseph made a book about it, which shows you can always make something out of nothing. And look, there's Joseph making the book we just read. And that was Joseph Had a Little Overcoat. One of the things I love about this book, and it's hard to see on the video, I'm sorry, but the pages actually have cutouts. So I'll put my hand underneath. You see how there's a cutout? So when we're talking about Joseph had a little overcoat and it was old and worn, when he flips it over, the last page is how he makes his new jacket. You see that? It's one of my favorite parts about the book. Again, it's hard to see in the video. But same thing with the vest. So here's his worn jacket. Here's the vest. And then when you flip it over, see? The old jacket is how he makes the new vest. So it really is a story about reusing things and making something new out of something old, which, as you know, is one of my favorite things to do with all my craft supplies. So now I'm gonna swing the camera around and you can join us for our craft portion. I will see you in 2 seconds. Bye for now. Welcome back to the craft portion of our Story Time to Go video. We are going to be doing a craft to go along with Joseph Had a Little Overcoat by Sims Tabak. So if you were able to pick up a kit, you're going to see a little kit like this. Inside is going to be a sheet of paper that looks like this. This is the next series of Story Time to Go videos. So you're going to want to take this and give this to your grown-up. So if your grown-up's not with you, then maybe set this aside for right now and give it to them later. And now, if you were able to pick up a kit, you're going to see a bag like this. It is going to have a cardstock picture of Joseph. You're also going to have your instruction sheet, which if you've gotten to this point in the video, then you probably have already found this. And it will have glue, and you will have a little bag of crayons like this. And in your bag of crayons are going to be some little squares. If you were unable to pick up a kit, again, in the description of this video will be a link that will take you to a materials list as well as this picture. But you should have a lot of the stuff that you can use for this at home. And you know what I always say. I say, if you have extra craft supplies at home, there is no reason you can't reuse it for another craft. So, you can see our friend Joseph. We are going to reuse these squares. These were magazines that the library had, and I cut them up into fun little squares. So if you remember in our story, Joseph had a really tattered coat. So now it's our turn to draw him wearing his tattered overcoat, and you can use these magazine squares to help decorate it. So what you're going to want to do first is you're going to want to glue these on. And you can glue them on wherever you like on Joseph. I know in the book it had some towards the bottom, but I'm going to put one there. And I think I'm going to put one on his sleeve too. Which color do I like? Now most of these magazine squares are going to be double-sided, so you can choose whatever side you like to glue down. Let's see. I have these ones. I'm going to glue this side down, and I'm going to glue this purple side down because I like the green. There. sorry about that. All of a sudden I had a tickle in my nose. And now, once you have your squares glued down, you can go ahead and you can color Joseph. You can color him however you like. I'm going to try and color him like the book. So he's got like some brown spots on his beard. Just like that. And then his beard's actually kind of black. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to color him. And his beard kind of looks like that. And he's got some rosy cheeks, so I'll give him some rosy cheeks. He's got a brown cap. What I love about this craft is that we're reusing magazines that the library had, kind of like how Joseph reused his coat so many times. So again, if you guys have your own craft supplies at home, there's no reason that you can't, you know, if you have something left over, maybe from another story time to go, or a different craft that you did, or maybe you just have a big supply of crafts, you can use something left over in there to decorate your Joseph. I was gonna say, I'm so big onto reusing craft supplies that actually the crayons that I'm using in this video right now, I'm gonna put in a bag, and I am going to have them in one of the kits downstairs. So if you ever open your Storytime to Go kit and you're like, wow, that crayon looks like it's been used, it's probably been used in this video. You probably have a famous crayon or glue stick, because I don't need to keep all these crayons. I'd rather send them out to you. So I always just package everything back up, reset the kit, and I send it out. So if you ever see that your crayons have been used before, that means they're probably in this video right now, which is kind of cool. All right. Now you can color Joseph's jacket however you want. I mean, I use these little pieces of paper, so they're kind of bluish, so maybe I'm gonna color his jacket blue, I think. What if I did blue? I'm gonna do blue up top. I think a blue jacket's pretty. I wish I had a blue jacket. Again, I normally, when I do these videos, I have another sample that I ask a friend at the library to make for me. Maybe Miss Serena or Miss Cindy or Miss Diana. But we didn't have time this November to do that. It's been very, very busy for all of us. So you're just gonna have to make this one with me. I think I like the green that's in my magazine. So I'm gonna put some green on there. And again, you can make it look like mine. You can make it look like our friend Joseph in the book. You can make it match your magazine. You can make it do whatever feels right. Whatever, it's your craft. And it's important for you to do your craft your own way. Again, I just put these squares down here because I liked how they looked. But there's no reason that says you couldn't put a square on his hat. In fact, you know what? I'm going to draw a little square up here. Like he has a patch on his hat too. Because why not? I'm going to put one over here. It's like he's wearing patches on his hat. And I haven't used purple yet. And look, my purple actually has a little broken tip. So I'm going to... Now whoever gets this crayon is really going to know it was in the YouTube video, because they'll see one that's rolled down like that and they'll know they have the famous crayon. I'm going to color it. I'm going to do purple on one side. And I just realized that I didn't use the orange crayon. So the orange crayon is probably going to be lonely. I'm going to do orange over here. I do recommend putting your magazine patches down first before you start coloring, or else the patches won't stick as well to the paper if there's crayon on it. Oh, look. We have our own little Joseph in his own little worn overcoat. All right. This has been another story time to go, and I will see you next month for the mitten. I hope you had fun, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.